Let's go! Let's go, everybody. Welcome to another edition of SPiTBALLiN. I am Dollar Bill, recording this on a snowy, cold, wet, damp Wednesday in the middle of March 2022. You know how we do it on the Let's Go network. And you find us on Facebook and Twitter and YouTube and TikTok. Tell your friends. You know how we do it. One topic, no scripts, no nothing. One take, shoot my stuff, and give it to you straight and to educate, entertain, and enlighten you along the way. Since feels like a cold, rainy day, snowy day, it's a snowy mix. It feels like football weather. What a better time to talk about football. The draft is about a month and a half away, give or take. The combine is done. People are doing their mock drafts. And listen, I don't get it. These guys get paid millions and millions of dollars to be on TV. The exposure they get, they make the rounds. They know who everyone's going to pick. And, they make a good living at it. Like, what am I doing wrong? Because I can tell you how wrong they are. Like, I don't want to tell you I'm smarter than the average bear. But I'm smarter than the average bear. You know why? Because I'm old. And there's no substitute for experience. And I know football's a young man's game. And you guys are going to tell me how much you know. All you young kids know everything, blah, 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 blah. You young guys love all these mock drafts, blah, 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 blah. They get them all wrong. Like, you go to pick one. I think Todd McShay had his second or third mock draft, whatever number. They change it like 47 times before draft day anyway. But we're a month away from the draft, and, there's no quarterback in the, that's going to be the clear-cut number one pick. But I can tell you just by using my eyes who's going to be the number one pick. Aiden Hutchinson, the Michigan guy who rushes the quarterback, you know how I can tell he's going to be the number one pick? On one of the betting sites yesterday, if you wanted to bet on him to be the first pick, you would have got plus 650, meaning a $100 bet would have given you $650 worth of profit, which means a $100 bet would have got you back $750. That's better than crypto right now. You want to go 6.5x on your money? That's like a guarantee because somebody knew something. Because I'll tell you why. Because if you wake up this morning and you see who you want to bet on who's going to be the number one pick overall now, that same Aiden Hutchinson is now minus 350. He's the prohibitive favorite to be the number one pick. So a $100 bet, which would have won you $650 worth of profit yesterday, now would get you in the neighborhood of $30. So I don't make a habit of risking $100 to win 30. Not really a good long-term play. But obviously someone knows something there. But you know what? Let's suspend Calvin Ridley for a year. Let's see who knew some. Bet you if you got the list of people that made this line move. Because lines don't move like that without a reason. So somebody knows something. And somebody put some major league money down on to make some major league money. Because that's what happens. But these guys with their mock drafts are killing me. Like, I say it sincerely. I know they evaluate college players and they watch hours and hundreds of hours of tape and talk to the right people. And they do the right things. But I think this is going to be a newsflash. I think the Detroit Lions have turned the corner. Like, I think they got their coach. They have a decent quarterback, and I think they got their GM. I think they're on the way to respectability. And the best thing they got going for them, they're in the NFC. Because I wouldn't want to be a team in the AFC right now, especially a team that was middle of the pack. You were even pretty good, like a Cleveland Brown team, because they're dead. But however, I think McShay's mock draft latest one has Kyle Hamilton, a safety, going from Notre Dame as the number 2 overall pick. Picking a safety at number 2 is about as productive as picking a running back at number 2. Now listen, he's supremely talented. He makes plays, some things you don't measure. But he's a safety. He doesn't go one-on-one with anyone much. And again, he made plays in college. But, you put the T-shirt and shorts and the stopwatch on him, he ain't that fast. Listen, Cooper Kupp ran a 4.6, and he gets open all the time, but there's a way to do it. He runs he's not fast. And I'm not going to spend big-time draft capital on a corner or a defensive back that can't run. Like, if you can't run, like, speed kills, and he's always hurt. So why would the Lions draft him at 2? And then we go further down the list, and we see the Ohio State wide receiver going to the Giants at 7. Really? Are you brain dead, stupid, or just dumb? Or a combination? Why the hell would the Giants take a wide receiver at 7? They need everything. Like, we don't got a quarterback. They got a running back they want to trade. We got Kenny Golladay, who scored as many touchdowns as I did. Sterling Shepard is hurt. But you can get a wide receiver somewhere. Pick him in the 4th round. There's a lot of talent out there. You just need someone decent. You're going to spend all that draft capital on a wide receiver that does not even, he's not Randy Moss. He's not Calvin Johnson. We don't know what he is. But he's not a game breaker. If they don't draft a lineman or a big ugly who rushes the quarterback or protects our quarterback, then we've done something wrong. And then going down a little even further, Washington needs a quarterback. They're not taking a wide receiver at 11 either. It makes no sense. They're going to take the best quarterback available. They may trade down to do it. You see Willis out there, but, he came from Liberty. What is he? He throws the ball good in shorts. You don't know if he can make it in the NFL. He probably can. Who knows? Then there's the guy Pickett from Pittsburgh with the small hands. So, not ideal. Matt Corral I don't hear about. I like him probably the best of the bunch in this class. But they need a quarterback. And they need him now. They're not going to draft a wide receiver. They're a quarterback away from making some noise in the NFC because that's the conference a quarterback would do well in. Russell Wilson should have lobbied to stay in the NFC. It wasn't his choice. But the path to the Super Bowl is clearly easier in the NFC. And then one last thing before I call it a day on Spitball, and I'm going to record a bunch of these today because I got so much going through my mind. We talk about protecting the quarterback and rushing the passer, and, there's some cardinal rule that you can't take a center. It's kind of a waste taking him early. Now, listen, if Tyler Linderbaum, and again, you know me with names, I probably pronounced it wrong, sue me, the Iowa kid who's projected to be maybe the best center prospect in the last 20 or 30 years. Oh, but we can't take him at 7. We can't take him at 10. It's too soon. Why? And he projected to go 26. In a league where skill position players, the value of the skill position players outside the quarterback is really at an all-time low, and you're going to see the wide receivers shrink. Not to the level of running backs, because, listen, running backs are good for about 4 or 5 years, then you want to get paid, and you know what? Mileage adds quickly on an NFL running back. Wide receivers, not so much. 4 or 5 years, you get the best out of a running back the first 4 years you have them. Wide receiver, probably the middle 4 is probably best. You got to take time to learn routes and learn guys. But the value of a skill position player, on average, is going down. And, if you have putting $50 million into a quarterback and trading 8 guys for a quarterback, it would probably make common sense to get guys that can keep them upright and safe. So I say Giants, at that pick at 7, let someone trade up. Because someone's going to try and be desperate and trade up for the quarterback or maybe one of the cornerbacks. Slide down a little bit, get yourself some more draft capital, and draft this guy at center. I don't care if you don't think he's a game breaker, blah, 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 blah. You will plug him in at center He will play for 12 years at MetLife Stadium and end up in Canton 20 years from now. But he went 10 picks too high. Really? No one's going to care when he gets drafted when he's giving a speech in Canton with his nice bust and his yellow jacket. So whoever drafts this kid is going to be super smart. I'm telling you this right now. Better than any wide receiver out there. Go get the Iowa center. No one likes it because it's not a sexy pick. The football will always be won in the trenches, and even more so now, you're going to see it trend that way. That's it for this edition of SPiTBALLiN. You can catch us on the Let's Go Network. Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok. Make sure you tell your friends. Make sure you tell your friends. Like and subscribe. Thanks very much for listening. And always, try and make some common sense out of your sports and your life. This is Dollar Bill saying bye for now.